Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Hiking Journal. In this episode, I take a drive high up into the El Paso Mountains on the northern end of the Mojave Desert in search of a historic mine called the Burro Schmidt Mine and Tunnel. Now, William Burro Schmidt was a miner who lived in the area, and he spent his entire life digging through solid granite for almost a half mile in his pursuit of gold. Also, while I'm waiting for Jerry and Rob to show up on our off-road adventure, I spent a little time digging through the bushes looking for a geocache. Now, if you don't know what a geocache is, don't worry about it. I'll explain it here in a minute. And in the meantime, let's head out to the Mojave Desert and the Burro Schmidt Mine Road, where I'm trying to find the geocache No Measure for a Man's Feet. Anyway, that'll be coming up next in this edition of the Hiking Journal. Well, if you never heard of geocaching before, what geocaching is basically is somebody takes an object. It's usually a small little trinket, something you find in a gumball machine, and they put it in a small container. And what they do is they take it out to some remote location, such as this spot here in the Mojave Desert, and they'll hide it somewhere in a nondescript place that the average traveler or person passing by wouldn't notice. And they post coordinates for it on a website called geocaching.com. And while you're out here and you've got time to kill, if you're on your travels to and from one place to another, or you're like me waiting for your friends to show up for a hike or for an off-road adventure, I noticed there were a couple of geocaches in this general region, one of which pinged right here in this general area. And considering there's sagebrush everywhere and all kinds of burnt shrubs, this looks like a good location for a geocache, and it's showing right here. And normally the coordinates are fairly accurate. It's within 20-30 feet usually, but it's 20-30 feet in a 360, so that could encompass this whole brush clump here. I spent the last 45 minutes crawling around on my hands and knees in snake infested country here, getting all scratched up, trying to find this damn geocache. And it's here because I looked on the log, because I have cell phone coverage here. Somebody found it just a week ago, so I know it's here. And I've looked everywhere. I've crawled underneath all of that, and I'll show you where it's at because I found it, and I'm going to go log in here in a second. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you what I had to go through to get there. Well, this is the clump of brush where I thought it was. It was pinging right here in this location. Yeah, and I'm going to go up here. I left my water bottle on top. I can't forget it. That's a Yeti bottle, so I can't forget that. And, you know, you have to look really close because sometimes they're in ammo cans and sometimes they're in containers that match the environment, and they're really, really hard to find. And it was pinging right here. I looked and looked and looked, and I about gave up. Went back to the car. I thought about it a little bit. Then I decided, nope, somebody found it on the 24th of this month, just about week and a half ago, so it's here. And after some due diligence and some more scouting, I noticed something a little unusual in the bush, and I'll show it to you here in a second. And like I said, these things are subtle. They're not easy to find, and they might not be exactly where you think they are. I thought it was in that clump of brush back here, but when I was scouting around, stepping in the bushes here, I noticed that rock right there. And that's kind of an unusual place for a rock. I guess that's not that unusual because there are other rocks around here. But I'm going to move that rock and show you what's under it. Now, kind of the scary part of doing this is rattlesnake country. And this is a perfect spot for a rattlesnake to hole up. So I've walked around it a couple of times just to make sure. But I'm going to try to kneel down here and get to this rock. And you can see that underneath this rock is this little container. And inside this pill container, which they tried to camouflage to match the brush, I guess, is a small log. I'll show that to you here. There's a description. That's like somebody's business card. There's a guitar pick that the last person that found this wrote that they found. So I'll put that back in there. A very, very tiny log. And since I didn't bring a pencil, I can't log on. A lot of times they provide pencils. You could have put a golf pencil in here, I guess. But this is the log of people that have found this before. And you can see it. I'll pick that up here in a second. This is a list of the people that have found this cache. So I can't really add my name to this list because I didn't bring a pencil, but what I can do is when I get back to cell signal range, actually I'm in it right now, I can just log that I found it, post a picture. That'll be good enough. That's enough proof that I found it, you know what I mean? So anyway, this is a geocache out here on the way to the Burro Schmidt Tunnel and the Burro Schmidt Mine. So anyway, there you go. Geocaching 101 out here in the Mojave Desert. This is the grave site of William H. Schmidt, better known as Burro Schmidt, from the famous Burro Schmidt Tunnel and the Burro Schmidt Mine, which is out that direction. And that's where we're going to be going today. We're going to be exploring the Burro Schmidt Tunnel. It's about a little over a half mile long, and he took basically his whole life to blast through solid granite, digging his tunnel. And the reason he started it was to look for gold originally, and then as he got more into it, he realized that if he burrowed through the backside of this mountain, he would have a closer shot down to the main pathway that takes the gold to where it could be inspected and weighed and priced, I guess. And when he got to the edge, finally burst through the other side, he came down onto a pretty sharp decline and decided it wasn't worth it his time to continue anymore, so he gave up. Anyway, this is his gravesite. William H. Schmidt, better known as Burro Schmidt, and Evelyn Ann Joni Seeger is his granddaughter, I believe. And this is owner prospector of the Burro Schmidt Tunnel. And she died in 2003. She's the rightful owner of the Burro Schmidt Mine and the Burro Schmidt Tunnel and the properties and the abandoned cabins we're going to go see later. She died a few years ago, and her gift to everyone was that she donated the land to the Bureau of Land Management, and that's why we're able to go up there today and explore the mine. So anyway, that'll be coming up here pretty soon. I'm going to take some more pictures, walk around this lovely cemetery out here in the middle of nowhere in Johannesburg in the Mojave Desert. Well, we're about a mile in. We came to our first junction, I guess. There was another highway, BLM road that went to the left or to the right, and we went left. Basically, we stayed straight, sort of. It veers to the left, and now we're going to continue into this canyon, it looks like. All right, looks like we're coming up on a junction. It says EP something to the 199 to the right. Schmidt Tunnel is to the left.
Okay, we're reaching that little crest on the hill here.
All right, well, I made a couple of turns. I'm on EP 103, and an ATV just pulled out in front of me from a side trail, and he was hauling ass. Oh, it's getting a little bumpy here, a little washboard. And he's heading up to the right, and we're less than a mile from the Burro Schmidt Tunnel right now. All right, well, after about, only about 15 minutes of climbing up this road, we've arrived at the Burro Schmidt cabins. So it looks like somewhere up there is the mine, which we'll have to scout out here in a minute. In the meantime, we're going to check out these, the old remnants of the miner's cabin. This is all donated to the BLM. They fenced it off, and they don't really want you in there, probably for safety reasons, but you can see there's several sections where the fence is down, and people have been going in and out for years, probably. And she lived here after Dad died, evident by the TV antenna. They actually have electricity here. There were power outlets inside. We're going to take a real quick jaunt inside here, but I am going to do a little walk around the perimeter so you can see what life was like back at the turn of the century. They do have a great view from up here. Looks like they don't really have plumbing. They have an outhouse. Looks like most of their power was, maybe cooking was through that propane tank. There's the outhouse. What's left of the structures. The mine is somewhere. We don't know yet. We're going to go look for it. It might just be up that road. We'll find it here in a minute.
Well, we're at the home of Burro Schmidt. I'm gonna go take a look and see what living was like. Right there, over that block.
Oh, this is the illegal doorway?
Right.
Watch for snakes.
Watch for snakes. Oh, thank you. Not a bad looking place. It's a great view. Oh, there's a bathroom. And the bathtub. I don't know where they got water though. At some point people were living here and had propane. Yeah, that's probably the water closet. Another nice little room with a view. Surprised it's not graffitied up more than it is. Well, it's a big house. I guess he kept adding on to it. Go check that out in a minute. Jonesy's over here. Dude, there's electric outlets. Oh, wow. Oh, here we go. Alien brains, bro. Alien show. Hashtag show me your PCB. SOS. All right. Just got the outside. Wow. And your next neighbors are nowhere to be seen. That's the kind of place you want. All right, that is the Burro Schmidt residence. I'm gonna go check out the tunnel next.
Well, we made it to the Burro Schmidt mine out here in the Mojave Desert. It took Burro Schmidt most of his life to dig this tunnel through solid granite from near his residence, which is just over there, which we just visited. We're going to be taking a trip inside the mine about a half mile to the other side. It's going to be pitch black in there, so once we get past the little ambient light from the doorway, we're not going to be able to see much. So we have some pretty high-powered lights and a headlamp and a flashlight, and we're going to work our way through the tunnel all the way to the other side. All right, well, we're finally starting in the Burro Schmidt mine. It's amazing, the all the work that this guy did, and it was all done by hand. Hammer and chisel, a little bit of explosives. You can already feel the temperature change in here. It's probably at least 10 degrees cooler, and it's a lot taller now. I noticed earlier we had to duck to get in here, but now it's not so bad. I'm 5'11", even wearing this tall helmet. I've got plenty of room. But I was forewarned that as you get farther back in the tunnel, it gets shorter and shorter. As he got older and older, it was a little more difficult for him to continue digging, so he didn't make the perimeter as large, I guess. It's amazing he did this. One man, all by hand. It took him 3 years. And this is all rock. It's amazing. Hope there's no rattlesnakes in here. Don't think so.
We are working our way through the Burro Schmidt Tunnel. And I think we got about a half mile to get to the other side. We'll have an opening on the other side that looks out over the valley to the south. So this is all hand carved over 38 years. I'm keeping my eye open to see if anything sparkly reflects back from the light. So far, nothing's shining back at me, but so many people have been here over the years that if there was anything, I'm sure it's been taken as a souvenir by now. This started off pretty low. It's gotten a lot taller, a little bit shorter again. I'm wearing my bike helmet today. I don't think I would have carved in this far at all. I mean, I could see the entrance way back there. All right, proceed. I see a light. It's hopefully not a train.
Okay, here's our first part of the rail line here. Looks like the rail abruptly ended right here. Pure granite. Jerry and Rob are behind me here, and we're trying to get through the tunnel without hitting our head. Parts of the tunnel are taller than others. In a minute here, we'll shut off the lights just to see how dark it really is in here. Alright, well, I turned off my headlamp, and you can see there's really nothing to see here. Okay, there we go. Tells you how much a difference a light makes in here. I don't know how he lit this tunnel the whole time he was down here working all day and all night. I imagine probably just a kerosene lantern, I'm assuming.
You see the holes on the sides? Once in a while I see like a hole or a bar is headed in. Up high, sometimes down low.
Oh, like maybe put a candle lantern or something up there. Now this thing just keeps going.
whole bunch of money to park at the Four Corners to the Indians, and all I did was get out and look at a couple of flags. Why are they over here charging me for this?
Yeah. We've been seeing lots of, yeah, this goes back a ways. Back in there, we've seen a lot of this, a lot of whatever this is. I think it's rat piss, and oh, there's a whole bunch right here. Looks like somebody was partying down here.
Is there another hole there?
Yeah, there's another hole right here. And there's all kinds of shit outside the hole here, so I don't know what's in there. That's a tunnel. It's a little tiny little tunnel. And it's getting really short over here. There's a nice little rat home right there. Look at that. Another little rat den. I don't know how much farther this goes. It's getting pretty shallow here. I think the end of it's coming up. But I don't know how much farther I want to go because it's hurting my back. This is the end. Yeah, that's it. All right, we can head back.
Check out the end.
Yeah, it's all the rat shit. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. This is the ancillary tunnel, not the one that pops through. We thought this was short. It's actually quite long. Yeah. Yeah, I see some sparkles on the walls a little bit. I see light. And that's not the end of the tunnel, that's the exit of the tunnel. We still got to go the length of the tunnel back the other direction. In fact, right here is our turn. That's the actual exit. This is the way we came. Well, at least we think that's the way we came. Guess we'll know here in a half mile, huh? At least I can stand up right here. Give my back a little break. We're in the Burro Schmidt Tunnel. Well, this is where it forks. That's the left fork. Right there. And,
Does that go all the way through or no?
that's when he realized he went the wrong way. Looks like we can finally see the end of the tunnel here. And it's definitely getting shorter. A few seconds ago, before I turned the camera on, I whacked my head on top of one of the low-hanging rocks. And all I got to say is thank God for this helmet. Kind of stooping down, I can feel the pull on my back muscles. As we're finally coming up on the end here, the Burro Schmidt Tunnel. On the way back, we'll take the, there you go. That's why you wear the helmet.
He hit his head and his helmet came off. All right, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Pretty sure it's not a train.
Made it out the other end. Well, after we exited the tunnel, we just went for a little walk to the left here, and this is our view. It looks like that's Red Rock Randsburg Road as it heads over toward Red Rock State Park, I'm assuming.
Good cell coverage here.
Looking, I guess this would be what, southwest? All right, well, we made it all the way to the other end of the Burro Schmidt mine, the Burro Schmidt Tunnel. Now we're working our way back out to the vehicles. We've got some guys joining us here. We passed us on the way in. Got tremendous views out here. And of course, plaque for Burro Schmidt is right there. Did hit my head a few times, but thank God for the helmet. All right, well, after we toured the Burro Schmidt residence and we walked the length of the mine, now we found this location where we're going to set up camp for the night. Rob's got his Tacoma truck all rigged up. Jerry's got his Tahoe over there. The sun's kind of intense right now. It's going to be down behind that hill here pretty soon. And we're going to have a tremendous view tonight for sunset. It's going to be amazing. All right, Rob's got tacos going. They look good. Look better than my hot dogs I was cooking.
This is different than what I normally make. I added chorizo in there.
Oh, okay.
It'll probably be better.
Well, tonight we're going to have bratwurst, sauerkraut, and buns. And then Rob was over there. He's making tacos. Gonna be eating good tonight. Well, Jerry and I enjoyed Burro Schmidt Tunnel so much that we decided to head back into the tunnel after dark and explore the half-mile-long tunnel the way Burro Schmidt did. And all I carried was this kerosene lantern. Now, back in the day, they didn't have high-powered digital lights and rechargeable batteries. They carried kerosene lanterns similar to this one, and all they had was a little bit of glow that illuminated probably about 10 feet in front of them. And when we went back into the mine and we went back into the tunnel, and it sure made a big difference in our experience. So it was a little eerie, a little spooky. In fact, Otto's coming in here. It's his birthday today. Otto's 7 years old today. Anyway, so we're going to head back into the tunnel, and I'll show you a couple of pictures. I didn't shoot any video because the video didn't come out. It was just too dark in there, but we did see a couple of rats in there, and that was kind of fun. And it made us feel a little bit like Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer in search of Injun Joe's cave. Well, anyway, stay tuned, that part's coming up next. right, so what do you think about our adventure to see the Burro Schmidt Tunnel and Mine near Randsburg, California, in the upper end of the Mojave Desert? Otto's getting a good massage here. The road to get up to Burro Schmidt was a 7-mile, kind of a rough dirt and sand trail that went up, I guess it's called EP15 and EP100. Different sections are named different things. And it really wasn't too difficult. I was a little more apprehensive before we started on the trip up there, but it really wasn't that bad. I have a Jeep, I had it in 4-wheel drive, and I aired down the tires. Had no problem whatsoever. And in fact, Jerry has a 2-wheel drive Tahoe, and he's got pretty meaty-sized tires on that, and he's got a little lift kit on his as well. And he didn't have any trouble either. So if you're a little worried about can your vehicle make it up to the Burro Schmidt mine, as long as it's probably an SUV or a truck, it doesn't really need to be 4-wheel drive, but it helps a little bit. And it was pretty easy to find. There are things online where you can locate via GPS coordinates or tracks, or you can just follow the signs like we did. There's also some other things to do while you're up in that area. Nearby, the mining town of Randsburg is just around the corner. Randsburg's got an old general store that's got phenomenal ice cream sundaes, from what I've heard. They've got a little couple of bars and saloons in that area, and a little souvenir shops and some antique stores. And if you got the time, just on the other side of Randsburg is Johannesburg. It's a really small little town, but what's fascinating about Johannesburg is the Burro Schmidt gravesite is right there. I took a drive up there early in the morning, right at dawn, got there before we started this adventure. And I took some pretty good pictures of the Burro Schmidt headstone and gravesites. I mean, that was pretty cool too. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hiking Journal. Stay tuned with us on another edition when we head up to Kennedy Meadows and the start of the High Sierras. That'll be coming up next. Alrighty, take care. Don't forget to click and subscribe so you can stay abreast of the newest episodes when they come out. Alrighty, take care. Bye-bye.